All right, guys, so today we got an update on the full contract details of Packers' new safety, Xavier McKinney. Obviously, on Monday, the Packers signed Xavier McKinney to that massive deal. 4 years, $67 million, or $17 million average per year. And I kept saying, wait until the full contract comes out to really evaluate that deal. Similarly to the Josh Jacobs deal, which we went over in my previous video discussing Aaron Jones to the Minnesota Vikings and Josh Jacobs' full contract, because you have to look at the full legwork of the contract before you start to scrutinize it or say, hey, they overpaid this player. Because at the end of the day, it boils down to their cap hits. It boils down to the guaranteed money you're giving said player. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at that full contract of Xavier McKinney, what his cap hit is for this season, the following seasons, and everything in between. Also, if you happen to be a new viewer here and want more Packers news, analysis, and updates, you'll find everything Green Bay Packers here on this channel, from the free agency to the draft to salary cap, everything Packers right here on this channel. So go down and click subscribe if you haven't already. All right, so let's waste no more time and bring up McKinney's contract. So he was signed, of course, to that 4-year, $67 million contract. It was $23 million guaranteed. So low guarantees in terms of the type of player he is, being a 24-year-old safety, right? If we look at his first year in 2024, his cap number is $7.8 million, or 2.9% of the salary cap. So this is why I say always wait until these deals come out, because half the time they're going to be backloaded, right? Because the salary cap goes up and up and up every single year. So it makes sense for your cap hits to go up and up as the years go on as well. And I was very certain that this was going to be under $9 million cap hit for year one in 2024, which is exactly where it is. He's making near the minimum for base salary at $1.4 million. And of course, the bonus, that $23 million guaranteed, is spread out through the 4 years of the contract. That's paid to him up front, but in terms of a booking standpoint, it's spread out through those 4 years. He gets a $200,000 per game roster bonus, a $400,000 workout bonus, which then equates to that $7.8 million, a lot lower than the APY suggests of $17 million. Now, of course, if it's super low in year one, that just means it goes up in the future years, which is fine. The Packers are set to have a ton of money in future years, 2025, 2026. And of course, that will go down a bit when they give a massive contract extension to Jordan Love, but it just makes more sense as of right now because the cap just keeps going up astronomical amounts. So next year, McKinney's set to have a cap hit of $17.6 million. So now you're kind of around that APY, right? The year after that, it's $19.1 million. And the year after that, in 2027, it's $22.5 million. But that last year is kind of a Packers option. It's not necessarily a guarantee. And this is kind of the way contracts are going in the NFL nowadays. They're usually 2-year deals with 2 years that are an option of the team, like 2 easy out years, right? I would say this is a 3-year deal with an easy out in year 4, or a 3-year deal if you wanted to say a post June 1st designated cut. And this is if everything goes terribly, which I definitely don't expect it to. McKinney's a 24-year-old player entering the prime of his career, coming off his best season as a pro, entering a new defense with Jfab. I think he's the perfect piece for that defense, and I expect him to get yet another contract in 2027 with the Green Bay Packers after this is all said and done. So we see here on the right, in terms of dead money and cap savings, why I think this is a 3-year deal with an out in 2027 is if they were to release him before that 2027 season, they'd save $16.7 million off the cap and only incur $5.7 million dead cap. Now, if they were to do a post June 1st designated cut, and they could do this after 2 years, so after the 2025 season, say that offseason they wanted to move on from McKinney for some reason, they could do a post June 1st designated cut, which is exactly what they just did with DeAndre Campbell, which is just essentially pushing some of that bonus out to the year after, so you're not paying all of it right then. You're not getting rid of any of that money, you're just kind of spreading it out a little bit. So if they were to do that, in 2026, they could save 13.3 off the cap, incur 5.7 dead, and nothing changes for 2027 because it's the last year of his contract, so there's no difference between a post June 1st or a pre June 1st cut. And if you take a look at the safeties around the price point of Xavier McKinney, all of which older than Xavier McKinney. I mean, Derwin James has a cap hit this year of $19.8 million, and it jumps up to over $23 million in 2025 and 2026, all of which higher cap hits than Xavier McKinney in the respective years. Same for Minkah Fitzpatrick, $21 million this year, $22 million next year, and $24.4 million in 2026. So everyone's saying it was an overpay for the Green Bay Packers to go out and sign Xavier McKinney to this 4-year, year, $57 million deal. It was only $23 million guaranteed. And I think this is going to be a home run signing in future years when you look back at it, because he's going to be a pivotal piece to this defense for years to come. And again, this is why I always say wait until the actual legwork of the deal comes out. It seems too often now that a free agent signing happens and people see the year and the month total money amount and go, wow, they overpaid so much. And just to kind of back that up even more, I want to compare two players. I want to compare Josh Jacobs and DeAndre Swift, right? When that deal came out for Swift, it was $8 million a year. And when the deal came out for Josh Jacobs, it was $12 million a year. And I heard everyone saying, oh, well, they overpaid for Josh Jacobs. Look what the Bears got for Swift. And a lot of people even saying the Bears overpaid for Swift. But when you look at the actual numbers, Josh Jacobs, his cap number in 2024, $5.3 million. DeAndre Swift's $5.8 million. The Bears are being charged more for DeAndre Swift in 2024. And another thing, if the Bears wanted to move on from Swift next year, they would only save $500,000 in cap savings. If the Packers were to move on from Jacobs next year, they'd save $1.9 million in cap savings. The year after that, they'd save $8 million compared to Swift, $7.5 million. So he's less of a cap charge this year, and they would save more cap room releasing him in subsequent years than the Bears would with DeAndre Swift. So that's why it's very important to take a look at the legwork, the contract. Swift may have an $8 million APY, but he was guaranteed more money. Josh Jacobs may have a $12 million APY, but it's an easy out deal. And it's essentially a deal that the Packers are going to do the same thing that they did with Aaron Jones. In future years, they're going to try to get a pay cut if they need to, and if not, they'll move on and they'll repeat the process. But I appreciate you guys coming by to the channel. I just wanted to take a look at Xavier McKinney's deal because it speaks volume. And I think it's an amazing deal. And I think this is going to be an awesome signing for the Green Bay Packers. Keyshawn Nixon's deal hasn't came out yet. Same with Tyler Davis and Corey Ballantyne. So I'm still waiting on those exact numbers to give you guys an official salary cap number for the Green Bay Packers. Right now, I estimate it'll be around $30 to $31 million in terms of salary cap space. But when that all comes out, hopefully tomorrow, I will update you guys with an official video. But I appreciate you guys coming by to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.